Let's turn back to the markets, extending recent strength to fresh records, with the Dow closing above 49,000 for the first time ever. Chip stocks and memory names, those were the leaders. But our next guest sees some opportunities outside of the AI theme, including gold miners and financials. Joining me now, Gargi Chowdhury, BlackRock Chief Investment and Portfolio Strategist for the Americas. She just put out her outlook for 2026. And Gargi, it's always great to have you on. Welcome back.
Hi, Morgan. Happy New Year. It's great to be on with you.
Happy New Year. So what fuels stocks this year?
Absolutely. As we write in our investment directions, and we discussed with our clients just in a client call earlier today, is there are three things that we're focused on. Number one, we're pro-risk. We still think that AI is going to be a big driver of markets, but also, importantly, that there are opportunities away from AI as well, and that's not something we were saying in 2025. What fuels that? Number one, again, growth remaining above trend. The Fed continuing to signal to us that they're willing to move rates lower, and pretty significantly if the first point that I make doesn't hold true. So if growth slows down, I think they can cut a lot more than what the market's priced right now. And frankly, the third thing, which maybe we're not giving enough importance to, is that we can see some really big productivity moves in the U.S. this year. And again, that is, in the end, very good for growth. So all of that makes us pro-risk AI within the AI theme, as well as outside of the AI theme as well.
Yeah, it's interesting because we started the week talking about Venezuela. We just got a report from Eamon Javers at the White House on Greenland. I mean, geopolitics is front and center, and yet investors do seem to be largely shrugging it off, whether you look at stocks at record highs or you look at what's going on in the credit markets right now. Is there a point at which this becomes a bigger focus?
So I think we've learned over and over again over the last more than 2 decades, I guess, that broadly geopolitical news does not impact markets for a sustainable period of time. As long as the transmission mechanism, so whether it's impacting growth or inflation, doesn't change. So to the extent that either Venezuela or any of the recent headlines that you were referring to the extent that doesn't impact our expectation of growth or inflation, I don't think markets will care too much about it. But obviously, our jobs are to help investors sort of build these very good, diversified, resilient portfolios. And we talked about equities a little while ago, but the other part of that resilient portfolio is obviously seeking income. And that's another big theme that we're seeing from our clients, seeking income, of course, in the public fixed income market, but also in the private credit market, also in dividend equities, and frankly, blending of that public and private together and looking for income in this world is going to remain important. And then maybe another point that I want to make here that you were referring to is having those diversifiers in your portfolio, things like gold, which worked very well in 2025, but also can work very well in that geopolitical risk-off scenario if we were to get one.
It's interesting because last year was a very strong year, not just for U.S. equities, but for equities really around the world. And we have a very strong start to 2026, even stronger, for example, in some of the Asian markets than we do here right now. So when we talk about diversification, should we be looking to EM or other major countries as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the themes that we address in investment directions. And actually, we just polled our clients today in our Inside the Markets client call. And 50%, or actually more than 50%, are looking for ways in which they can diversify the AI theme. So they like the story, but they just want different versions of the AI story. And this is where the international markets, and especially Asia as a theme, and the AI story within Asia in particular, is a theme that's going to resonate really well and has resonated really well. Obviously, some of the records that have been broken already in the first couple of days of 2026 point to that, not just in the U.S. markets, but in Asian markets as well. When you look at some of those Asian semiconductor names, we think many of that are a good source of diversification away from the U.S., sort of the cloud platform story, more into the semiconductor manufacturing story within Asia.
Got it. Gargi Chowdhury, thank you for joining me.